Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Faith Created Home. My name's Hazel and I'm coming to you from Wales in the United Kingdom. Hope you're all doing well today. Thankfully the weather here has cooled down an awful lot. The last few days we've had really high temperatures, but thankfully yesterday we had some rain and it's cooled down an awful lot, probably by about 10 degrees. So I'm very relieved about that. So I hope you're all managing to keep cool wherever you are. I know an awful lot of places have been struggling with really high temperatures, and I hope you're all managing to keep cool. Today I'm back in my kitchen and I've got some work to do in the kitchen. I'm going to do some dehydrating today and some plum and apple jam, because I noticed in the garden, I've been watching these apples growing out my window, out the kitchen window when I do the dishes, and I've been thinking, oh, they're going to be really good apples this year. And then I looked out the window yesterday and to my horror, the birds have been picking at them and they're going brown on the top. So what I thought I'd do was I've gone and picked those apples, and I've got some plums that have been fermenting in the pantry for about a week. So I thought, well, I'm going to shove them into a jam and use them up to save them going to waste, because they're just going to rot on the tree. But I couldn't believe it. I've been watching these apples for months, probably since April, since the blossom. And I've been watching them since they were really tiny to getting quite big, thinking, oh, I'm going to have some really good baking apples this year. And the little blighters have been pecking at them and eating them. So I hope the young have appreciated my organic apples. But yeah, I thought I would put them in a jam today. So I've been looking at the internet over the weekend, and I've come across a challenge called, excuse me looking down, but I'm looking at my piece of paper so I don't forget. Every Bit Counts challenge, and it's been organised by a homestead in America called the 3 Rivers Homestead, sorry. And it's one of these challenges where it starts at the beginning of August, and you ferment and preserve and do pantry storage for the winter. And you do it throughout the month of August, and then you record what you're doing throughout the month of August, either daily, weekly, or for the whole month. Do a roundup, and you show what you've fermented or preserved or dehydrated within that month towards your winter storage. But then I came across another channel called Brainstorm Acres, and they have their own homestead, and they've been doing the challenge slightly differently, which appealed to me because I don't like to be put under pressure. And I find that if you've got a time frame in which you've got to do something, I get stressed and I think I'm going to do it, but then I don't end up doing it, and I get stressed and upset with myself because I haven't done it. But this couple are doing it where you do it to share, and what you do is you record periodically what you've done, whether it's something in the garden that you've grown, or whether it's something you've preserved, something you've made, something you've dehydrated, and you do it through the whole year instead of doing it in a time frame of 1 month. Now that appeals to me because I'm the kind of person that will do something over a couple of days, and then I won't do something for another couple of days, and then maybe a month later I'll do something more. So that appeals to me more. So that's what I'm going to do. And when I looked in the pantry yesterday, I looked at everything I've done just this month in preserving stuff for the winter, and I realised I've done quite a lot already. So what I've done is I've lifted it out of the pantry. So in today's video I'm going to show you what I've already done for my month of August in keeping things for the winter. I'm going to show you the ingredients I've got for making my jam. I'm also going to put some things in the dehydrator, so I'm going to show you that. I'm going to do some kale, some pineapples and peaches. I've also lifted my sourdough out for you as well, and the sauerkrauts and things that I've made. So I've done really quite a lot already, and it's the 19th of August, so I thought that could be my challenge. And then what I'm going to do is I have another YouTube channel as well called Faithful You, Faithful and EWE, and I'll put a link in the description bar below for you if you're interested in what I do on that channel. And it's a channel about knitting and handcrafting and sewing and hand dyeing and weaving and hand spinning, all the different crafts that I do towards my self-sufficiency for me and my household. and I also have an Etsy shop for that as well, so I'll put a link in the description bar below for that. But I'm also going to run the challenge on that channel as well, and that's going to be my every bit counts challenge for my handmade stuff. So it'll be whether I'm doing some hand dyeing, what I'm doing for that, what I'm making for myself, what I'm hand knitting, just to keep me accountable to myself as much as anything. So I'll keep making and I won't make excuses not to. So I thought I would run that challenge on that channel as well, so I'm going to start that in my next video on there. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, do pop over there and have a look. I'll put a link in the description bar below, as I say, and a link to maybe one of the videos at the end. So yeah, if you're interested in that kind of thing, do pop over and have a look. I put videos up every couple of weeks on there, so yeah. But anyway, getting back to this channel and my homesteading journey here, I'm going to take you in the kitchen now, finish my coffee, take you in the kitchen and show you what I've done and what I'm going to be doing for the dehydrator today and for the jam pan. So I'll just have my coffee and I'll meet you back in the kitchen in a minute. Right, okay, so welcome back to my kitchen. I've been busy in the kitchen for the last few weeks doing preserves and ferments, and yeah, I've also done some dehydrating as well. And today I'm going to be doing some dehydrating and putting that on. I'm also going to be doing another couple of ferments as well, because I'm going to be doing some sauerkraut. I'm doing some jam as well, because I've got some those apples that need using, as I said earlier. And I think that's about it for today. But what I thought I'd show you was what I've already made this month, because I've been looking in the pantry, I've actually been really busy. So I thought that I would show you what I've been doing. So I'll just turn the camera around and I'll show you what I've made out of the stuff that I had in the freezer and out of what I've had in the pantry. So let's have a look at what I've made. Right, okay, so this is a bit of a selection of some of the things that I've had on the go this month. Let me just pop those in as well. So far this month I've had my sourdough, which is this. This has been on the go now for about 12 months, keeping it going. There's lots of lovely bubbles in there at the moment because we've had some lovely weather. So that needs feeding today. So I keep that under the plate there to keep the flies off. I've also done some dried peas and I did them from frozen. Now I probably wouldn't ever do that again because, as you can see, they've gone a little bit black. And I think that's a little bit of frostbite on the food. So I think if you're going to do it, you should let it defrost first and then put it in the dehydrator. That's my experience anyway. So yeah, I've got some peas which are in my kilner jar. I've also done a bag of frozen carrot, mixed veg, peas and sweet corn. So that's that. So I can pop that in soups. I've also done some sweet corn just on its own, and again, as you can see, it's got a bit of frostbite on it. So that's that one. I've done 1.5 jars of that. I've also started some kombucha because I found a kombucha SCOBY in the cupboard, so I've done that. So that's that one. And this is the kombucha that I harvested off the last one, so that's that. So I need to leave that one for a couple of weeks and then harvest that juice. So I'm just drinking a small glass of this a day because I don't want to cause my gut to go into overdrive with the fasting that I'm doing. So yeah, so that's the kombucha. I have also done, take you over here, I've also done some plums which I've had in the pantry, and as you can see there's lots of bubbles on there because I've been fermenting them in the pantry. I decided I didn't know what to do with them, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them with the apples which I harvested this morning, these. And as you can see, the birds have had a right old time with them, so I'm sure there's enough apple there which I can use in my jam, get a decent amount off, because not all of them are like that. There are a few that the birds didn't get to yet. So yeah, I'm going to use those apples and those plums, and I also have some more plums here that need using up. So that's what I've done there. Over here I've got some garlic which I started on Sunday, and I've got a few cloves that need pushing under the water there, but I can add to that some more cloves this week, so that's what I'm going to do. I did half of what I had, and I've done them in Himalayan sea salt, so the organic pink Himalayan sea salt. So that started the fermented garlic, and then I can just take cloves out throughout the winter and use that in my cooking, or use it in my smoothies. This one here is a red cabbage sauerkraut, which I started last week, and it's actually really tasty already, so I'm not sure if the heat has made that get along quicker. And this is a white cabbage sauerkraut, which I started a week ago as well, with some cabbage that needed using up that was about to start turning. So that's that. What I use in my jars for that is weights, a cabbage leaf, and I found these, just move those out of the way. I found these on Amazon. I'll pop a link in the description bar below, and they're glass weights. They're like hockey pucks, but glass, with a little handle on the top, so you can pick the jar up and the puck up and put it in the jar. They are for wide mouth jars, and I find that these bigger jars are just too big, so that's why I've held it down with a cabbage leaf under the water, and then I've popped one of these glass weights into the cabbage, and then that holds everything under the water. And I think I paid about £12 for the 6, and they come in a lovely little box with a lid on, so you can store them in the cupboard nice and flat, with other items as well, and they won't get broken. So I've got 2 on the go at the moment in sauerkraut. I haven't got one in my garlic yet. I need to pop one in, so once it gets a bit fuller. So yeah, that's what I've been using to weigh down the ferments. So they get kept in my cupboard up there, and they just get stored nice and flat there. So the other thing that I've bought as well, which when I first bought it I wasn't that impressed with it, but now I've used it. It's a suction pump that looks a bit like a bike pump. You get 2 caps that fit inside each other. That's for small kilner jar, and that's for the wide mouth kilner jar. And you pop it on top of the jar. If I can show you, the small one goes on top of the jar. Bit difficult doing it with one hand, like that. Well, it has to be on straight and proper. And then where that hole is, you put the hole of the suction pump over that hole and use that lever to suck the air out. Instead of putting air in, it takes air out, and then you just lift that cap off and it stuck the metal lid on properly. So that's really handy. This middle bit, it makes that stick, so you don't then need the ring, so that's really handy. It can save a fortune on rings. I've done both of these with that suction thing, so they're actually stuck, which is great because it saves a fortune on Mylar bags, because I've actually found somewhere where I can get the jars relatively cheap. So also what I've done is the liquid that's been coming off the plums as they've been fermenting, I've been putting in jars, in these jars here, because it's actually now a probiotic drink. So what I've been doing is I've been putting it in jars, and I've been drinking a small amount of that throughout the day as well with the kombucha. And if I'm just having a small amount, it's not going to send my gut doolally with me being on this juice fast. So that's what I've been doing with the water off the plums, but now the plums are sort of getting to their peak of being useful in there. So now I want to take those plums out and make a jam with them. So that's going to be the next part of my challenge for today, is to make some apple and plum jam. Then here I've been in the garden and I've been harvesting things out of the garden. So I've harvested some of my walking stick kale, which you've seen before in my diet videos. I'll put a link to my diet videos just above here, if you want to have a look at the video blog that I've been doing about my diet. So I've got these big dinosaur walking stick kale leaves. They're absolutely huge. Yeah, they're huge. So I'm going to dehydrate some of those and dehydrate the stalks as well, so I can use them in soup. I've harvested some rosemary as well from my rosemary bush because I noticed it had lots of lovely new shoots on it, so I'm going to bunch them up and hang them up in the garage to dry. I have some mint which I've harvested, which I have a lot more I can harvest, so I'm going to go and get some more and pop that in the dehydrator. The other thing I'm going to dehydrate today is this pineapple, and I have about 12 tins of sliced peaches that I buy in Lidl, so I'm going to do 6 and pop them in the dehydrator as well. So I've got some dehydrated fruit I can just snack on and eat, which won't have the sulfates on then, it'll just be nice peaches without any sugars or anything. So I think that's all I've got for what I'm going to do today. I think I've shown you everything that I've made this month. I can't see anything else. I never tidy up for my videos. I've had these onions, these spring onions in water for the last couple of weeks, and look at that root ball that's formed on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry the tops on these in the dehydrator for the winter, and then I'll pop them back in the water and get them to regrow again. So this other thing here is a pineapple, which I thought I would try and root and see if I can get this is the top of a pineapple, which I thought I would try and root and see if I can get a plant out of it. So yeah, it doesn't look like it's got any roots on it at the moment, but that gets kept in the jar on the windowsill there. So yeah, so that's what I've been up to. So that's all my ferments. I'm going to do another sauerkraut today. This is also my eggs that I've been preserving as well throughout the month of August. I think I started the jars in July. I've got 4 hens, and I'm currently getting 4 eggs a day because they're in full lay at the moment. I have 3 new hens which are about 30 weeks old, 35 weeks old, something like that, so they're kicked into rhythm now. We don't eat an awful lot of eggs, and at the moment with my juice and smoothie fast, which I've been doing, I'll pop a link in this video for you. I've not been eating any eggs at all, so it was actually quite handy because it means now that I can preserve my eggs for the winter. So I have 4 jars. I have 2 this size. No, I have 4 jars this size. These are 2-litre jars. I'm a bit worried about putting them in a bucket because I don't know whether they'll just be too heavy and they'll crack. But I might try transferring them into a bucket and see how that goes. But as I say, I've got 4 jars so far, and there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4. There's about 16 eggs in each jar, I think. So that's quite a lot of eggs. That's about 60 odd eggs so far. Yeah, maybe about 16, 32. Yeah, 64 eggs so far. So yeah, that's quite a good amount, because my husband will have 3 at a time. But it means then I can do some baking as well, and I've always got eggs handy through the winter, because they will still lay through the winter here, but just not as many eggs, say maybe 3 a week or something off each one. So I'll still get 12 eggs a week, but it just means if I want to make a cake, or if we want 3 eggs each, we can have that many eggs. So yeah, that's my eggs as well. So as I say, I've got 4 jars so far, and I've just finished filling this one, so I'm ready to start another one. So yeah, hopefully they're going to keep for 8 months apparently. So that'll take me through the winter into next spring when they start kicking off again. So yeah, that's what I've been doing so far. That's what I've got organised for today. So yeah. Hi, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed a look around my kitchen and what I've been doing for the month of August and all my ferments. Yeah, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed what I've done. I will do another video in another week or so and show you a roundup of what I've done in the next week. As I say, I'm not going to set myself targets and goals because I never get them and I never stick to them. So I always have so much to do around here that I just never end up sticking to them. So at some point, as I say, I will do a pantry tour. I'm going to spend some time today organising some shelves for in there and getting that organised. So I might do a video of my organisation of what I'm doing in my pantry to show you that as well. I also at some point will show you my food storage that I already have in my buckets once I've organised that as well. And I have some flour, bread flour that needs popping into Mylar bags for a bit of long-term storage in that as well. So that really needs doing immediately. So I'm going to do that as well today. Because I have the Mylar bags, I just haven't got round to it as usual, typical. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do today, what I've shown you so far, and we'll see how the day goes. If it doesn't get done today, there's always tomorrow, but every bit helps, as they say. So that's going to be what I'm going to do today. Every bit counts challenge. So I hope you've enjoyed it. And I will see you again soon. If you're interested in my diet vlogs that I've mentioned, I will put a link to that in the description bar below and a video at the end for you to check out about my challenge of losing weight as well. Today I'm currently up to day 30, so yeah, it's going really well. So if you're interested in that, there is a link at the end for you. But other than that, that's it from me today. Have a good day, whatever you're up to, and I'm going to go and get on with some hard work. So I'll see you next time. So bye for now. Bye.